God, that sound is just glorious. Hello, hello again. Mike Reed here, coming at you with the seventh and final episode of Metroid Dread / Metroid 5. So last time, as you saw, well, the Metroid DNA, as you can kind of tell, is having some interesting effects on our old friend Samus here. So, and not only that, but our good friend Adam, air quotes Adam, has told us to go to this flying base, which, we'll figure out what that is in a little bit, and, fulfill our destiny, apparently. Whatever that means. Well, I know exactly what that means, but, you don't, I do. We'll go past those quite chakras there. Past this guy. Open this up. And there's a cheeky little missile hiding in there. Up here, and... oh, there goes that guy. So now we have the Golden Chozo Soldier. This is the last Chozo Soldier of this game, and he is the most powerful of them that we've faced thus far. Right. Dang it, this one out of counter. Crap. Alright, so this guy, as you can see, you have to kind of break his shield, but it's different this time around. As you're going to see if he triggers it again. Yep. So you have to grapple beam it off him. He's the only Chozo Soldier to do that. Which is interesting. Kind of just ups the challenge up a bit. Not by much, but a little bit. Now we go into phase 2. Okay. Melee countering as we always do. Absorb his energy and boom. He is certainly dead. So now to this private vessel here. And now we are going to go to Itarash, the final area of the game. And where the final boss encounter will happen. So. But yeah, hopefully throughout this playthrough you started to get the sense of why this game sold 2.9 million copies. Not only that, but is pretty much the magnum opus of this franchise, in my humble opinion. This is literally the best Metroid they've offered in the past 19, 20 years. Because I've played through pretty much all of them, and I can definitely say this one is definitely the best one currently. My god. And so here we have this little structure here, which a certain evil Chozo guy, that we've seen a lot in this game, has been spying on us this whole time. Wonderful to see. And if it wasn't already a clear indicator when we first saw him, he is the final boss of the game. So we're just going to blow that up with a power bomb. And also, I'm going to quickly stand here a little bit and watch these little red molten effects. See, they actually cool down from the explosion. Ain't that cool? So, I like that a lot. It took me till my second or third playthrough to finally notice that actually cools down on its own after a period of time. But, yeah. Now we got a cutscene, so... alrighty.
Uploading data. It appears your Metroid DNA has caused you to become a Metroid.
Well, yes.
Ordinarily, this would have happened immediately after the DNA transplant.
How do you know this?
Your Thoha genes must have slowed down the process.
Right.
They were the only tribe capable of controlling the Metroids.
Correct.
Though you possess their DNA, you are not a Thoha. Your physical prowess suggests that you must also possess Mockin DNA.
I see.
Metroids are programmed to identify Mockin as enemies.
Right.
This suggests one thing to me.
What's that?
It is very probable that your metamorphosis occurred as a result of Raven Beak's attack. His presence awakened the Metroid's killer instinct.
Okay.
Since then, your metamorphosis has accelerated. It can no longer be controlled. You are now a Metroid, Samus Aran. Your very existence poses a grave threat to the galaxy.
True.
However, there is no need to fear. You can still contribute to galactic peace.
Of course.
You need only use your new powers correctly.
Right.
You have followed my instructions faithfully so far. Continue to do so. It's that simple. I consider your performance here on TVR highly satisfactory.
What?
As I hoped, it has even
okay.
I was right to let you live.
The plot reveal!
Told me everything. Submit and offer up your power.
Oh my
My
god.
plan is the only way to bring order to the
No.
galaxy. Samus, this is an order. Disobedience will not be tolerated.
Okay, Yep. Here it is. So the person that you thought was Adam was him! The biggest plot reveal. My god. It was him this whole time. Oh my god, now we're getting a flashback to the manga. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god, alright. Yep! Oh my god, and listen to this man's theme. Oh my god. This is awesome. Okay, well, okay, can I get out of that? Yep. See, he's just as powerful as Samus is. Oh my god, he has our flash shift, he has our beam power-ups. Oh my god. Oh god, okay. Alright. I'm getting away from you, buddy. Oh god, he's comboing me. Okay. Alright. So yeah, as you can see, feel the rage of this guy. The relentless just... You can tell he is angry. Jeez. Literally Angry Bird space. My god. I really hope you got that joke. Hopefully you played that mobile game from like ages ago, Angry Birds. And funny enough, there actually was an Angry Birds entry called Angry Birds Space. My god. And I know I'm making this boss look relatively easy, but trust me, this is the hardest boss the game has to offer. I'm just making it look easy because I've mastered him at this point. Yeah, I've taken a couple damage here and there, but for the most part, I'm doing pretty well. So, now we go into phase 2, where now he has wings! But, of course, if you remember back to my PowerPoint presentation, back at CIS 1A, the Chozo lost their wings decades ago. Not even that. How does he have wings? Now the question is, are they real or artificial? These are the real questions we gotta be asking here. But of course the game never tells us, so... Oh god, why am I doing so bad today? Okay, here we go. You gotta missile your face. Alright. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. I see what you're doing. I see what you're up to. Okay. Yeah, you do that. I'll missile you. Alright. Alright. That was not what I wanted. There we go. Alright. I'm getting out of here. Alright. Whoop. Also, he has an attack very similar to our Beam Burst from Samus Returns. Kind of interesting. And also, you might notice this guy has some similarities to Proteus Ridley from Samus Returns. Which is nice because, you know, as of the events of Metroid 5, Ridley is officially dead. So, you know, there's that. Okay, come on. Alright. Taking a couple dings here, but you know what, that's fine. Okay. Why am I flash shifting? Why is Mario on my buttons registering properly? I don't understand. Okay. There we go. Go. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Oh my god! I morph-balled! Why? Okay. I thought I did. There we go. Alright. Now we move into phase 3. Alright, so now he blew one of his wings off. But watch what he's about to do. Literally, he's about to... he just rips off his own wing! What is wrong with this guy? he's something else, you know? Just pure evil incarnate. I mean, my god. Alright. Can I... Oh my god, can I please get away from you for a second? Alright. More about it. Alright, whoop. Alright. Get away. Yes! It's missile! In the face! Okay! That was nice. Love the animation. Not again. Okay, well, carbon. Oh god, no. Oh god! Oh no. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Buddy, calm down a little bit. Alright. Thank you! Time to die! It's my missile! Alright, dodge you, dodge that, and the little thing. Alright. There we go. Got it. You're dead! Or not? Oh, no. Oh god. You kidding me? Is this really how 19 years of Metroid's history ends? Right here? Yep, you're seeing this correctly. Samus is now a Metroid. 19 years for this? We waited 19 years for this? Worth it! But yeah, Samus herself is now a Metroid, and literally the suit is called the Metroid suit. And it's not just the suit that changed. Samus's whole physical being is now a Metroid. How cool is that? Oh my god. This game is just... Oh, look at how cool it looks! Oh, jeez. Oh, if you thought the horrors of this planet were over yet, oh no. Game got one more trick up its sleeve. So what you just saw right now is Ravenbeak get an X absorbed into himself, right? And now he turns into this thing! Oh, this is some Eldritch horror stuff right here. So we're going to use our Hyper Beam. Yes, this is the Hyper Beam. This is not new. This has been around since the third Metroid game. And, oh my god, okay. And he's dead. My god. Oh, jeez. Now we just have that last X. Yep, just kill that. Yeah, quite the dark ending, I know. But then again, Metroid in of itself has always been a dark series. So now we have an escape sequence for some reason, so you know the drill. Let's get the heck out of here! Alright. Because it ain't a Metroid game if there isn't an escape sequence happening. I think Samus Returns is the only exception of a Metroid game to not have an escape sequence. Per se. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah. Alright, come on. Come on! Oh god, okay. Alright, here we go. Alright. Yeah. Nope! Nope! Okay. This is scary. God, go, please, God. Where do I go? Okay, there we go. Okay, go, Samus, go! Go, Samus, go! Go, go, go! Why isn't my space jump working? There we go. Okay. Alright. Now I need to charge up a quick Shine Spark. Yep. Okay, blow that door down. Alright, we're almost out of here. Just a little bit more. Come on, Samus, hang in there for me. Alright, and we're out. Oh my god. That was scary. But it's fine.
Drain the ship of its energy.
So now she can't escape. She has to die like the Metroids prior. Or Quiet Robe? Samus is okay. Yeah, I don't get this ending either. Even when the co-creator of the series / creator of the series, Yoshio Sakamoto was asked about this ending, even he doesn't know what this ending is, at least not yet. Maybe that's Metroid 6 to explain, but yeah, that was Metroid Dread. My god. 19 years in the making. I mean, oh my god. Oh, this game. And I went out launch day to buy this. I regret nothing of my decisions leading me to this point. Because I love this game, if you couldn't tell. This game, keep in mind, this is a game that we never thought we'd ever see. And then it just randomly showed up last year at E3. Like, my god. And, oh my goodness. And as you can see, just so many creative minds here working on this game. My goodness. So, now this leaves us some questions. Like, where's the series gonna go from here? Right? Like, because if the Metroids are dead, and the Space Pirates are gone, Ridley's dead, then what else is there to do? I mean, but then we also have to consider Prime 4, right? Because Prime 4 is gonna come before this game, chronologically speaking, like story-wise. So maybe that one could fill in some gaps of where Metroid 5, you know, left some unanswered questions, right? Like, that ending, I still don't understand what that is. Like, yes, it looked like Quiet Road, like, sacrificed himself, but how was he able to overpower the X's will to, right, basically create chaos and kill everything, and infect everything with X, right? Like, I don't know. How he was able to do that, I have no idea. So now that leaves us the question, maybe the Chozo created the X too? I don't know. It's possible. And that's maybe how, you know. But judging by Samus Returns and just what I know of this series so far, what's been told to us, it doesn't seem like the X is a Chozo creation. The only Chozo creations we know of are, well, Mother Brain, at least in the first game, right, in this remake Zero Mission, and in the manga, right, where we first get a proper introduction to Mother Brain and what exactly she's all about. Samus, right, and the Metroids. So, you know? But one thing is for sure, though. And also, if you didn't pick up on it while I was going through that escape sequence, you may have noticed those ships that were on that landing bay are missing. My theory, and many others' theories, is that the X-infected Chozo soldiers somehow managed to get into those ships and escape. So it seems to me like the next big threat that Samus has to tackle is the X-Parasites, it seems like. And my thoughts are, one of them isn't going to live. And my headcanon is that maybe Samus has to sacrifice herself to kill the X, like, completely. And rid the Metroid universe of their terror, right? Their reign of terror and infectious tendencies, right? So, I don't know. But that's just a theory. But again, that's for Metroid 6 to explain whenever that decides to come into existence. It's probably not going to be for a good few years now. As, of course, you know. And keep in mind, Metroid Dread is, again, the end of the first arc of this franchise, so there's a whole bigger world out there that we still have yet to explore, so... Or I, at least, have to explore, so... Who knows where this franchise can go. But one thing's for sure, Metroid is far from dead. And with this game officially being the best-selling Metroid game in the entire series, I expect this series to shoot even higher, as Dread genuinely blew me away with just how amazing it was, how much they refined from Returns. Not only that, but it was just just in general, it was so surreal to finally see this game get made. Games like this that take like years to develop, like let alone having to constantly stop and start development, start and stop, right, constantly. Not all games are successful like this. Like, for example, one particular game that took a long time to develop, Duke Nukem Forever, right? It was talked about, I believe, in the early 90s, I believe? But it didn't show up until, like, the late 2000s. Well, early 2000s. And even at that point, it wasn't all that good. So... But this game, this is one of those exceptions, right? Where it started development in the early 2000s, started and stopped until finally it's here now on the Switch. Like, how cool is that? So now here's our clear time of 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 7 seconds. Of course, it gives us all our other stats, which is great. But yeah, so. And since I know for a fact, Professor, you're a Switch owner, I highly recommend checking out Dread for yourself. It's a fantastic game, and I highly recommend it to you. But this video is not over just yet. There is some bonuses that I want to show you real quick. So we go to my first ever save. And let's go into the extras. I'm going to go into the gallery. Well, no, I think I want to go to my second file. I think it's my second file I'm going to go into. So then go into that one. Extras. Let's go to the gallery. Or is it my third one? No. These are the Chozo archives, right? So I don't have any of these filled out. But, of course, I'll leave a link to all of those in the description of this video. But now, of course, we have the ending rewards. Now, I do have all of them. At least, I can't remember which file it was that I had them all on. Maybe it's my third one, maybe. I'll check that one, maybe. Because I should have all of them unlocked. Because I know for a fact I have them all unlocked because I have screenshots of them saved on my Switch. So, I'm just going to check here and see if they're there. Yep, here we go. So here are all the ending screens. So this is the first one, and now all of these that you're going to look at are little dioramas, not dioramas, but artworks detailing Samus's legacy. So this one here is based on Metroid Zero Mission, the remake to the 1986 game Metroid on the NES. It came out in 2004, alongside Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, the second entry in the beloved Metroid Prime series. Next up here, of course, is an artwork for Samus Returns. In this case, this is Samus beaten up on a Omega Metroid, which is great, in her Samus Returns gravity suit. Great to see. This one here is a detail of Super Metroid, showing off Samus in her gravity suit, and a very haunting image of Mother Brain, which is great. So, this one here is the one I keep talking about as the most hated game in the series, Metroid Other M. Released in 2010 for the Nintendo Wii, this game was meant to be a bridge between the events of Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion. And this game bombed in sales, and is looked at by many as one of the worst Metroid games in the series, second only to, well, the only one second to this game, of course, being Metroid Prime Federation Force, released in 2016. But of course, if you read my PowerPoint presentation at CIS-1A, you would have already known this, and how much I revile and hate this game for everything it stands for, and for just how bad it was. Like, how do you take this stellar franchise and just ruin it with this travesty? But anyway, I'm going to move away from this. So next up is an actually good Metroid game, Metroid Fusion, the game that precedes this one from 2002. So, very nice to see. So we have Samus in her fusion suit, and then in the front here we have a very haunting image of the SAX, which, as you saw in the intro to this game, is a X-Parasite mimicking Samus in her fully powered suit from the previous entries, which is fantastic. And then, of course, finally, we have the Metroid Dread artwork showing, of course, Samus in her Metroid suit beaten up on Ravenbeak, which is great to see. And then we have the secret one, the last one. If you get all the other ending screens, you get this last one. And this one shows off Samus in her Zero suit for this game, and of course all of Samus's previous enemies. So here we have some, well, let me go back. Go back, there we go. So we do have these Zebesians here in the lower corner. There's the Queen Metroid from Samus Returns. Up here is Kraid. There is Ravenbeak up here. Of course, up here we have ZDR. There we have Ridley and the Emmy, Adam Malkovich back when he was actually alive. The baby Metroid. We have, of course, Mother Brain. I almost said Queen Metroid again. Then, of course, we have some other Metroids scattered around, which is just, and it's just really cool. And this makes for a great PC wallpaper. As a matter of fact, this actually is, for a little bit, was my Discord account background for my profile picture, because I love this image so much. It's just so cool seeing all these artworks detailing Samus's legacy over the years. My goodness. So now with the game out of the way, I'm going to take a quick jump cut as we have the collector's edition to look at. So be right back. Right, so here is the Dread Collector's Edition. Of course, we have to zoom out the camera a little bit. Kind of adjust the stand a little bit. So that way, all of this can be in view, so I kind of have to back all the way out. Let me move my background computer out of the way. So, the Collector's Edition, again, is $90, at least at the time this was released. And of course, this is the only thing we're going to be looking at today. We're also going to be checking out the Amiibo box art, the box for that. Of course, also I have this Power A Metroid Dread case. And the Metroid Dread controller, also released by Power A. So, without further ado, let's get to looking at all this. Starting with, of course, I think we're going to start off with the controller. We're going to start small and work our way up to the big boy back there. So, here is the Dread controller. Kind of have to untangle it a little bit. Kind of finagle with the cord. Just a little bit. But yeah, so this is the controller. Looks pretty nice. Very nice long cord. And you do have some very nice buttons on this. Kind of have to sit a little awkwardly here, but of course you do have our standard thumbsticks. Feel very nice. D-pad, screenshot, home button, your plus and minus buttons, X, Y, A, B. You have your LR buttons, ZL, ZR buttons. Hopefully you can see that. Yep, ZL, ZR, LR. And of course on the back you have some programmable buttons, and of course the logo for Power A. And we have the AGR and AGL buttons. And then, of course, we have this button in the middle to actually program these buttons. And then in here, we have an option. I believe this is for a headset. So you can plug a headset in here and then listen to your in-game music that way, which is pretty cool. And, of course, you have a light in the middle here indicating, right, if the system is, well, if the console is connected to, right? And of course, you can only use this with the Switch dock. Unfortunately, you can't use this undocked, because again, wired. But of course, you do have Samus right there in her power suit, looking very nice. So all in all, one of my favorite controllers. I have not used it yet because, you know, I don't want to get it all scratched up and all greasy and everything. So for right now, it just kind of sits on my shelf with the rest of my Dread collectibles that I've gotten. Also, something I can't show in this video, but I do have holographic posters that were released by My Nintendo, aka Nintendo's little membership rewards program, and they look really nice. I got those for, I believe, 1,000 silver points, and they were really cool. I would love to show them, but again, I would have to go all the way down into my other room so you could see them, but then again, I have a bunch of other posters in that other room, so I'm not going to bother for right now. But now let's take a look at the Metroid Dread Amiibo box. So this is the box the Amiibo come in. And of course I have it taped up so that way it doesn't, you know, fall apart when I have it displayed. But see, this was $30 at the time I bought this. So of course we have Samus and Emmy up there. And of course we have the Samus and Emmy, which would be in there. And then of course on the back you do have your stats here. See, we have katakana there. It says use the amiibo in the Metroid Dread game too, and for Samus it says here refill your energy once per day, get a bonus energy tank. And then for the Emmy, you replenish missiles once a day and get a bonus missile plus tank. And also over here it tells you that you can use this with the Switch and the new Nintendo 3DS, and for old 3DSs you have to use your NFC reader, which you have to buy separately. Also says here look for this icon on amiibo compatible games, and yeah, there is that. Again, $30 for the 2-pack. Not bad, but obviously could have got it cheaper. But again, I picked that up launch day alongside the Switch OLED and, of course, this beautiful collector's edition that we're going to take a look at in a bit. So real quick, now we're going to take a look at the Power A Switch Lite OLED regular Switch case here. So, of course, on the front, we do have nice artwork of the Emmy and Samus. And when you open it up, you actually have space for a couple games. Yeah, and you can also use this to prop up your Switch when you're playing it portably. And there's also a little foam insert here, which I don't have on me currently, that is used to fit in the Switch Lite, which is pretty nice. So again, compatible with all Switch models and fairly inexpensive. I got the pre-order for that case. And really do love that case a lot. One of my favorite cases that I own for the Switch, because I have multiple different cases, and that's, well, I know it may sound like I have a lot, but I don't. I have a hard case that I use when I'm traveling with my HyperX charge plate clutch, which I got with my original 2 Switches that I got. And then, of course, this case that I just showed you. This case, I got that alongside Dread. I had to wait a little bit for that one. I didn't get it launch day. I had to wait like I think around a week or so to get it. But not a bad case, all things considered. Now, to look at the collector's edition. Again, $90 for this collector's edition, and you get quite a bit in it. So here's the front, showing off Samus and the Emmy right there. Of course, Nintendo Switch in the corner, and it gets your ESRB rating down there. And then, of course, on the back, you do have this menacing image of the Chozo soldiers, Samus, and Ravenbeak in the back. And, of course, here it says includes games, steelbook, art book, and art cards for $90. And, of course, you get the game itself, so not a bad deal. Now, let's crack this thing open and take a look what you get. So first up in here, you get the steelbook case, and it looks pretty nice. It is nice, steel, nice haunting artwork of Samus and the 7 Emmy hunting her in the game, right there. And of course on the back you have some more rocky terrain sort of background. Open this up, you get a really nice artwork of this sort of Chozo structure here, Nintendo logo, and it says Steel Book down there. Has Samus's insignia there. Of course, this is where a manual would go if this was a standard Switch case. But now, of course, here we have where the game itself would be stored, right there. So, really nice little Steelbook case. Next up here is the Metroid art cards. So this one details all of, again, Samus's legacy from 1986 all the way up to the current 2021 Metroid Dread. So really nice to see. And this details only the 2D games. The Prime Trilogy is not... get that off there. The Prime Trilogy is not accounted for with this one. So, and of course, you have Metroid there. Very nice sort of rubbery silicone type thing. Very nice artwork on it. Pull out the art cards. And, of course, we have all the different games here. So, it says here, of course, Metroid from the Nintendo Entertainment System. Next up is Metroid 2 Return of Samus, released on the Game Boy. Of course, Samus Returns isn't accounted for on this one either. Also, if you're wondering if there's anything on the back, no. The back is literally just cardboard. But Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, again, released in 1994. Then, of course, we have Metroid Fusion, released in 2002 for the Game Boy Advance. And then lastly, we have Metroid Dread for Nintendo Switch. It's released, obviously, last year at time of this recording. So, really, really nice to see. And also something you'll notice is that each of those little things on the top are actually Samus's visors. So, each of those, I think it's just really cool that all of her visors there are represented. Really, really cool. So, now let's look at the art book included, which this is probably going to take up the bulk of this video because it's quite a bit. So we're not going to look at every page. We're just going to kind of skim through and kind of see like what's included in the art book. Of course, I looked at the whole thing myself when I first opened this up, and it's fantastic. So right here, of course, you have the Metroid mission logs, Journal de Mission, there. On the back, of course, we have some more sort of artwork there. And it's a pretty large book. I mean, you can see it's pretty darn thick. But something I don't like in the advertising of this one, though, is that they showed it as being a hardback. Not a hardback, like a, what do you call it? Like a more, like, what do you call it? More of like a plastic sort of one. Like the pages were more flexible on the back. Backing of this one. But no, this is a hardback, is what you actually get. Kind of a bummer. So opening it up, we have some nice artwork there. Let me pop this up on the table. Maybe that's a bit better. Yep, so that way you can see. And of course, we're going to flip the pages here. So, of course, Metroid Mission Logs. And, of course, it details artwork from all of the 2D games released thus far. So first up, we have the original Metroid. So as you can see, as we flip through, it's going to show us some different artworks. So, of course, this first page shows off artworks of Samus, like in her original artwork design, which, again, very different to how she is portrayed these days. She looks a lot more like almost steampunky looking in this one. Of course, here we have some different enemies detailed, like the Screes here. We have a Zoomer down there. A couple more different enemies. I think that's a... oh, God. A lot of these enemies I can't even recognize here because of just how different they looked back then. Okay, that I know for a fact is a side hopper. There, of course, is the original artwork for the Metroids. I know, very weird looking. Let's see. That I know is a Rio, and a bunch of other... Well, there's another Rio down there. Actually, no, that's a Pincherfly, I'm pretty sure is what that one's called. But yeah, a lot of different funky enemies here. A lot of good stuff. And then, of course, we have the only two bosses in, the main two bosses, right, in the game. Ridley, yep, that's the original Ridley artwork. I know, very, very weird compared to how you saw him in Samus Returns. And then, of course, we have Kraid in his original artwork. Very different to how he's portrayed these days. And then, of course, we have different Samus's different power-ups there, like her power bomb, her speed booster, right? I think that's speed boost. No, I think that's high jump boots. Long beam. I think that's no idea what that is. I think that's some sort of no idea what that is. But I know in the middle is the big one is screw attack. Yep, and the one up in the corner-ish is Varia suit. So very nice to see. And then, of course, the next one is Metroid 2, Return of Samus, released in 1991 for the Game Boy. So, of course, here, first up, we get some nice artwork of Samus in her Varia suit and in her original power suit, which looks great. Then, of course, we have details for the Metroids themselves and various different enemies, like the Octrolls. Well, that's an Octroll. I got a Hornode there, Arachnus, Needler. Let's see. Can never remember what those things are called. But yeah, and of course we have all the different forms of the Metroids, like here is the Larva Metroid, Alpha Metroid, Gamma Metroid, Zeta Metroid, Omega Metroid, and Queen Metroid. So there you have those there in their original 1990s artwork. Of course you have some more different enemies here, like the Sumori, Meeboid. Let's see. Anybody else I can recognize here? Oh, there's a Yumbo. Yep. Then, of course, we have a Drivel, Moto, Mohique. What is that? I think that's also a Meeboid. Could be wrong. I think that also is a Meeboid. Let's see. We have a Halzine there, Wallfire. Yep. All of your different enemies there. Of course, now we have some more mechanical enemies. Like, there's the original artwork for the Autod. Yeah, they got heavily redesigned for Samus Returns. There's the Autrak. Let's see. Then we have a Gunzu up in the corner there. A lot of different stuff there. Of course, over here we have Shoot Leeches, Scorps, Gulag, yep, Pincherfly, Blob Thrower, yep, Glowfly. So, a lot of different enemies there. And then, of course, we have some more stuff here. We have, of course, here we have, I think that's Bombs, Space Jump. Let's see, what's this over here? I think that is the Spring Ball, yep. Of course, we have Samus's Legacy Gunship. We have a Chozo statue, Wave Beam. So I think that's Spacer Beam, Ice Beam, Long... was that Long Beam? I think that's Long Beam, yeah. I think that's what that is. Of course, over here you have your... what is it? Yeah, Varia suit, Screw Attack, and you have your missiles. And high jump boots there. Really nice to see. And now we move into Super Metroid from 1994. So, of course, here again, more artwork of Samus in her Super Metroid adaptation of the Varia suit. Really nice to see. Oh, look, there's the one from my PowerPoint presentation. Very nice to see. And then, of course, we have some different enemies here. Like we have Kraid, Phantoon, Botwoon, Dragon, Metroid, right? Chorizo, Spore Spawn. What is that there? Crocomire, there we go. Everybody loves Crocomire. Ridley, Mother Brain, Key Hunter, Side Hopper. I think that's a Shriekbat, a Zoomer, yep. All kinds of cool enemies there. Of course, now we have, there's a Edikun over there in the corner, that thing. We have Samus's old logo there. Samus using her grapple beam, which was introduced in that game. And then, of course, we have Samus's, gunship. And then, of course, here we have the entire map of Planet Zebes from Super Metroid, so really nice to see. Of course, we have, let's see, I think we have, where's Wrecked Ship? Oh, there's Wrecked Ship, yep. Let's see, that is Crateria. I think this is Brinstar Jungle Area. I'm pretty sure that's Brinstar Red Soil, yep. all of your familiar stuff. Then, of course, we have Metroid Fusion from 2002. Right, very nice to see. Of course, you know how this one starts, with Samus in her fusion suit in different action poses. Really nice to see. Oh, look, there's the one from my PowerPoint presentation. Oh, yeah. Then, of course, here we have some more artwork with Samus in the SAX, hauntingly, staring over her. And then, of course, we have the gunship from that game, which, again, reappears beautifully redesigned in Metroid Dread. And then, of course, here we have some different enemies, like the, let's see... what is his name again? Oh, God. Why am I blanking on his name? Saris. There we go. Saris. Let's see. Zazabi. There we go. Arachnus. Yep. And he got heavily redesigned for Fusion. So that's really nice to see. We got some zombie scientist there. X-Parasite. Corax. Zabezian. We got a... What is that there? Hornode. Yep. X-Infected. And then, of course, here now... Wait, I think I missed a page. Did I miss a page? Yes, I did. Okay, so this is Zero Mission and also shows off Samus Returns. So it looks like they put 2 in 1 here. So again, Zero Mission is the remake of the original Metroid from 1986. Samus Returns is, of course, the remake of the 1991 Game Boy game of the same name, / Metroid 2 Return of Samus, at least on the Game Boy. So... Of course, here we have more artwork of Samus in her Zero Mission power suit, and of course her old-fashioned gunship, which we actually see in the opening sequence for Samus Returns. So that's very nice to see. And then, of course, here we have a redesign of Kraid. There's a Ripper, Shriekbat, Metroid, Zoomer, Mother Brain. Yep. And of course, we have Samus in her Varia suit with the baby Metroid. So very nice to see. And of course, here we have some more artwork of Samus doing a melee counter and using her beam burst on a Alpha Metroid. So very nice to see. Flip this page a little more. And of course, we get some enemies here. So of course, we have the Gamma Metroid, Alpha Metroid, Metroid Larva, Diggernaut, Proteus Ridley, Arachnus, Metroid Queen, Omega Metroid, and the Zeta Metroid. So very nice to see. And now we get to the bulk of this book here, which is, of course, Metroid Dread, the recent game, 2021. So first up, we have this artwork of Samus there. And then, of course, here now we have a full artwork of Samus in her power suit, in her final design for the power suit. But now you're going to see here next is some concept art for Samus's power suit in Dread. Yeah, we got some real funky designs going on here. So some of these look a bit more like her Returns design, and then we got some really funky ones like this one over here. What is this? Is this the Hulkbuster design? Like, what were they thinking with that one? But anyhow, well, of course, here we have some more concept artwork for what Samus's power suit could have looked like. Oh boy, some of these look a bit rough, but at least we got the final design that we got, which looks way more like Samus and not like the Hulkbuster. Jesus. And then, of course, here we have, I believe this is the Varia suit design? What were they thinking with this one? Oh my god. Like, oh my god, they look funky looking. All right. And then, of course, here we have some of the final design work for Samus's power suit. And, of course, looks like a sketch artwork here in the corner of Samus's running animation. And then, of course, here we have some concept art for the gravity suit, which is very nice to see. See these little concept arts. And then here is probably my favorite part here. One of my favorite parts of this section is we get a concept art for the Emmy and what these would have looked like and how they activate their little spear stabby thing to get Samus's Metroid DNA, which is really nice to see, or at least attempt to get. So that's nice. Of course, here again, more artwork of the Emmys and some detailed work of how they were to program, right, the arm movements and the leg movements. So very nice to see that there. And then, of course, we have some artwork for the Excellion Star Corporation, this mysterious corporation that assumingly, that we have to assume, right, made the Emmys. And then, of course, here we have some, what do you call these? Some drawing boards, right? Storyboards, right? For how the Emmys were going to interact with Samus. And this one, believe it or not, is the cutscene of where Samus interacts with the first Emmy in the game that we see in the Emmy Zone, which is really, really cool to see how that was originally going to be sketched out. Of course, here again, we have a nice artwork of of the ME there. And of course we have Samus using at the right here the Omega Stream and the Omega Blast, right? Basically the charged up version of the Omega Cannon. Really nice to see. Again, more artwork of what the ME could have looked like. Oh god. This looked like something you would see out of, what do you call it, like the Alien movies. Jeez. Maybe something you would see in like Transformers or something, the Michael Bay films. Of course, more concept art for the Emmy and other different Chozo robots looks like. Again, a lot of these look like they're from completely different games. Hard to believe that these were, that possibly any of these were to show up in Dread. Jeez. Of course, here again, more concept art for the Emmy. And a sort of sketch artwork of the Emmy in, I believe, an Emmy zone. I'm pretty sure either that or it's walking around Artaria, looks like. Maybe Berenia. Hard to tell. But now we get some more concept art of the Chozo soldiers, Quiet Robe, and Ravenbeak. Really nice concept art for those guys. Of course, now we get some artwork for the Chozo robots. Very nice to see how they would interact with Samus in the game. Now we have some concept art for the rock divers and for a couple other different enemies in the game, which is very nice to see. So here we have some more artwork for the Yampas and how they were going to interact with Samus and do their little melee counter. Down here in this section, we have concept art for Samus interacting there with the Infestor and how that would go out when it feels disturbed. Of course, we have some more enemy artwork here. Really nice to see. And of course, here we have some artwork of the Gobblers and how they would interact with Samus during gameplay. Here we have some concept art for the Shelmets and how they would interact with Samus, right? And of course, we have the Autul down there, concept art for that guy, that, as you know, roams around the little MA zones. Of course, we have some artwork for the Ice Flea and how those would interact with Samus, right? And if you were to hit it with an ice missile, it would literally explode. So, there you go. Here we have some artwork for the Aught Sniper and how that would work. Concept art for the Sun App and how it would attack Samus if it got too close. Very nice to see that. And here we have some artwork for Drogiga in that boss. Of course, we have some artwork here for Golzuna and for SQ. Almost blanked on the name for a second. Here we have a concept art for the Central Unit. Very nice to see. And some artwork of Kraid and how he would have looked. And here we got some more concept art of Kraid. Very nice to see. Of course, please make sure to pause if I'm going a bit too fast here for you to look at. But of course, here now we have Samus and the Chozo soldiers. Not Chozo soldiers, the Chorizo statues, which one of them apparently was going to get up in a very similar way to how the Chorizo attacked Samus in Super Metroid, which would have been a really awesome reference to that surprise boss fight, but I guess they decided to scrap it in favor of the Chozo soldiers. That's what I'm thinking. So here, of course, we have some more concept art for the Chozo statues. Here's the one that appears in Corpius's room, and here's the one in Gavrin. Really nice to see. And then, of course, here we have some details for, I believe this is Ferenia. Very nice to see. And I believe this is the room that we fight Askew in. So that's pretty nice. Of course, you have some more details of Ferenia and the Chozo statues, those large ones that kind of guard the entrance to that one section of Ferenia. Very nice to see. Of course, here we have concept art for Artaria, or at least the area where Ravenbeak and Samus first make their dramatic encounter, right? And then, of course, here we have that one section of Gavrin. Very nice to see. More detailed artwork of, I believe this is Gavrin. Could be Brenia, hard to tell. But judging by the bubbles, I'm pretty sure it is indeed Brenia. Of course, more details of Gavrin and the various different predatory plants in Gavrin. Very nice to see. Here we have some details of Cataris. That's one section that you can use to get to Kraid. That little statue there. Very nice to see. Again, more detailed work of Gavrin. Here, of course, we have more artwork of Berenia in that one section that you go through in Berenia, including the little spider magnet surface. Really nice to see. Here we have some details of experiment number Z57, what that could have possibly looked like. And here we have some details of, I believe that is Frozen Artaria. And this is the hot sections of Catarus. So really nice to see. Here you have some details. I believe this is of Hanubia, where where Ravenbeak was spying on us and experimenting on some of the creatures on the planet, which is pretty nice to see. Of course, we have Samus in her power suit there, just kind of standing there and looking at the horrors of this place. Here we have some details of Berenia, of that, basically the lower section, right? Basically a giant fish tank kind of thing. Very nice to see. Here we have a detail of the room in Elune, where we fight against the Chozo Soldier, the first X-infected one. Of course, we have Quiet Robe's room. And I believe this is... What room is this? Oh, this is the same room where we fight the Chozo Soldier. Right. And the first one. Here we have a concept art of the carving that we see in Frenia, the first time we enter it. And we get that awesome cutscene with Quiet Robe. So very nice to see concept art of that, as that was heavily used in the advertisements for Dread, at least towards the latter half of its commercialism, right? Before, of course, it initially released on October 8th. Formally released on October 8th. More details of the Chozo robots being built. Something that you may have noticed in some of the areas, particularly like in, whatchamacallit, in, oh god, in Dairon and stuff like that, is you were able to see some Chozo soldiers being built, including a giant one. So somebody's been busy. Of course, here we have some concept art of the save room and of Adam, which originally, apparently, he was going to be a giant face that speaks to Samus, but of course, I'm glad they opted out for the giant pixelated ball instead of a creepy face that speaks to you. Thank goodness. As if Metroid wasn't creepy enough. Anyway, so next we have some more details of various different locations and various different background elements that we see in Dread. Nice to see. Here we have a concept art of the background of Catarus, where you see that giant generator where we fight experiment number Z57 later on in the game's runtime. Very nice to see that. Of course, you have some more details of some background assets, some interactive, those interactive terminals, right? Where we interact with Adam, quote-unquote Adam, which is great. Then, of course, here we have some concept art of Ravenbeak's private vessel that we use to get up to Itarash to fight Ravenbeak, which is great to see. Here's some detailed artwork of the teleportals and how those would have looked. Well, and then, of course, we have some more background element details. Some of the light, some of the power generators, right, to turn the lights on. Some details of the shuttles and how they would travel back and forth between different areas. And there's the first room where we fight the very first, what is it called? Emmy, which is Emmy codename 01P. P standing for prototype. So very nice to see that. More detailed artwork of various different backgrounds. Some of these are kind of hard to tell. Like this kind of looks like Frozen Artaria, maybe Frozen Catarus. That possibly could be Brenia, maybe Gavrin at one point, and just a bunch of other different areas that we can look at, which is very nice to see. More detailed artworks of, again, I believe this is Brenia. Yep. Very nice to see that. And then I think we'll skip ahead a little bit, as a lot of these are just more background artwork. Oh, here we go. Here's some detailed concept art of the different doors that we interact with during the course of the game's runtime. So we have, let me go back a little bit, missile doors, super missile doors.
10:30 college meeting.
We have the, what do you call it? The the other beam, I forget what it's called right now. I think that was the Spazer. I think it was Spazer. Beam door. So that's nice to see. And of course we have some more different room details. Very nice to see that. Of course, some more background details. We're going to skip ahead just a little bit to look at some more details of different locations, details of different aquatic life that you can see in Berenia. And then I think we'll skip around just a little more. Just a little more. There we go. So here's some detail of Samus's morph ball, at least in her power suit. Then, of course, we have some detailed work of the, I believe that's Spider Magnet,
Either that or maybe Samus getting a new ability when she gets that little energy effect on her. So that's very nice to see. Of course, we have some detailed artwork of the different upgrades she gets. Wave, Beam, Screw Attack. What is that? Is that Plasma? I think that's Plasma Beam. Or maybe that's Phaser. What? No, that's not Phaser. I think that's Plasma. I think that's... Is that Wide Beam? That's what that is. Or something like that. And then, of course, we have some detailed artwork of the energy tanks. Gravity Suit, Varia Suit, Space Jump. That's bombs again. Yep. And the grapple beam. Here we have some artwork of Samus and those different cubes that she can get abilities from. And of course some detailed work of Samus's arm cannon in this game. And its different configurations. Of course, here we have some detailed concept art for Samus's, what is that? Her speed booster, right? And the Shine Spark. So that's very nice to see. Some detailed work of Samus's not gravity suit, her ship. And that is going to be it for the art book. So all in all, pretty solid art book. I love the artwork for that. Again, showing off a lot of Samus's history over the years. And showing us some really cool behind-the-scenes concept art that most video games these days don't really do anymore. So I'm glad that Metroid's one of those exceptions where the artists and just the game developers in general are proud to show off what they were working on behind the scenes to make a game like Metroid Dread possible. So I'm just going to put this all back in its box. Put that back up on my shelf. Put up my little amiibo there. Boop. And make sure those... Actually, let me dust off this little bit of the shelf. A little bit dusty. There we go. That looks fine. Put those there. Yep. Okay. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this playthrough. Again, really hope you enjoyed this one as I enjoyed recording it. And with that, that's going to be it for this video. If you do want to see more video game playthroughs, I will be more than glad to do them for you. And I will see you in the next one. Later, Professor, and have a good one.